Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Peace and blessing to the chosen. All praise to the Most High, the creator of the heavens, the earth, the seas, and everything that's in them. We here again, family. The Most High mercy was poured out on us again. Check this out. Look, a lot of us been able throughout the week to take baths in water that's at least at the sight of it. We're not saying, well, it's feces in this water. I don't even want to put my hand in it. I don't even want to touch it. We so blessed. We at the point where we comfortable enough to take a shower in the water, to sit in the water, to drink the water. The Most High good to his people, man. There's just one blessing, and we know everything on the face of the earth requires water, even the creatures that's in the water. You know what I mean? So we blessed, man. All praise to the Most High for another Sabbath. For his coming for me for with the vocals coming through clearly. Drop a 7 in the comments if the vocal coming through clearly, man. Peace and blessing to everybody who gonna tune in, everybody who present right now, man.
Salute
Yes,
the righteous
indeed.
and I mute the wicked. How you Christian rockin' Buddha printed true religion. Felt the change and I knew the difference. Moved the pivot, went from selling trees to selling soap and fruits with eucalyptus. Root of David, fruit of true repentance. When it's dead weight, who can lift it? A broken spirit, who can really fix it? They went half to make the baby, then went half just to kill it. They say crabs in a bucket, I say crabs in a skillet. That's on fire, homie. Keep that fire, homie, like a peacock, all these eyes on me. She made die lonely, grudge drove her crazy. Your hate for that man should never be stronger than the love for your baby. It's like I got the art of feel. I can tell when it's not as real. If it prevails, it was obvious. We'll complain about a simple life, homie, doing a life sentence. Psalm 34:7, I've been hard to kill. Home do the kundalini, home do the chakras. Talking everything kosher, home do the lobster. And Nebuchadnezzar's furnace is where the rebels meet. Foolish strong delusion, do the hubris, can't accept defeat. They did you wrong, ain't telling you forget. Moved on, 2-inch memory foam, now I get better
Another
sleep.
sleep.
Sometimes you gotta let them go. They'll never know, and they'll only see if you let it be. It's just a trick, it ain't legit without the father stamp. Survivor kid, the Bible lit like a lava lamp. You trust the one you listed as your power of attorney. Take the good with the bad, it's all healthy. Gain wealth through the wisdom, that's the power of the journey. Things wrote a 4-time rim for our learning. They see freedom, I see Sodom and Gomorrah while it's burning. Cast down, Babylon is falling. And it's epic, tell the paramedics, never mind the gurney. Truth make the devil choke like smoke in the esophagus. They drop bones out the sarcophagus. We take the hatred as a compliment, honestly. Far as prophecy, we living it out. Epstein files, agents swerving in excursions. Bombed out, ran the highest, stirring up the purgeons. Major businesses doing mass layoffs to keep them going bankrupt, a couple of them merging. Record clean cops still make them nervous. World War, this the third one. Praying hard they don't draft our children for the service.
All right. All praise to the Most High, man. The great I am that I am, the Holy One of Israel, the creator of the heavens, the earth, the seas, and everything that's in them. Always magnifying the Most High. Let nothing that I say or be anything to glorify, lift me up, or none of that. For today's message, though, family, what's on my spirit to share? Can we trust the healthcare system? Can we trust that when we go into hospitals, that the doctors, the nurses, the physicians, the surgeons, they got our best interests at heart? They really care for us. So here go a true fact of something that I know. A sister, or have mercy on her soul, a sister had symptoms of flu. All right. She ended up going to the doctor. The doctor ended up keeping her. So she was admitted into the hospital. The admittance transformed to they gave her something and she started bleeding on her brain. Have mercy upon her. From that point, she slipped into a coma. Not long after that, the sister was gone. That's summarizing this true event that I know of. Now imagine you having a thought that, hey, I don't feel good. Let me go into the hospital so that I can feel better. And that's the last time you see your family, your loved ones. They see you. Last time your husband be able to hold you and actually talk to you, or your wife, your children, trusting that this doctor, these nurses got the best interests, your best interests at heart to preserve your life. And it don't work out like that. Right now, we got a lot of women who pregnant. So we got fathers who, in that same sense, pregnant, they expecting children. And over time, for our family, what we missing is there are doctors and physicians and surgeons who actually have a desire to serve the people and help the people. But is the economy doing what it's doing, and just the evil, the sheer evilness in society? Man, a lot of these people don't care nothing about life. It's all about a check for them. And I'm gonna show some videos today, you know what I mean, to show what's been going on for those who may not be, you know what I'm saying, astute to what's really happening. We didn't came from a standpoint of we don't trust the church, we don't trust the pastor. We say, well, he be lying and he stealing from the church, and people stop going to church. We say, well, the police, the law enforcement, they kill us, they gun us down, they arrest us unlawfully, and we say, well, we get to making songs, hey, you know, screw the police, F the police, that type of stuff. But we don't apply that same mentality. We feel like, well, we can do all that and then just skip this healthcare system, not knowing that the value of life. What went on with the Epstein files? We didn't learn anything from how the people that's in the higher ups in the rankings in these secret societies, how they take people, drink the blood, do energy harvesting, you know what I mean, trying to trap souls, performing ceremonies. It's a whole spiritual event. They trafficking people. One of the main places where they'll be able to traffic people and get away with it, they send them through the hospital. Take them through they body snatching. Y'all, some of y'all know the situation. Even what you know, the matter with a lot of mothers, including my sister. They putting fentanyl in epidural shots. So the mother who's trying to produce the child, she take the epidural shot, it's fentanyl in it. The baby comes out. The doctors test the baby and say, well, it's fentanyl in the child system. Now we got to call CPS. Now they want to take the child from the mother, from the family. This is the healthcare system. So I'm gonna share my screen. This the over time, you know, these different things been happening, but let's start with this video. Something that happened in Florida. Something that happened in Florida, family. Let me see here. Share my screen. So this sister in Florida, Sharice Doyley, she's in the hospital. She didn't want to have a C-section, a cesarean section. Listen to this. Fair use for educational purposes. So, and I want to say this. I want my sisters to really pay attention, because y'all, all praise to the Most High, man. Y'all have, man, a huge responsibility, taking a huge risk to bring in souls through y'all's matrix, y'all womb. Man, you stand a chance of losing your life. Stand a chance of losing your life, and y'all take that risk for men, bringing the children in. All praise to the Most High for y'all. Take this serious. Check this out.
It's a real judge, you know?
My name is Michael Khalil. I'm a circuit court judge here in Jacksonville, Florida. The state of Florida has filed a petition for declaratory judgment. They're asking for an emergency C-section be granted by the court.
I have not had a chance to be able to consult with my own legal representation, and I'm trying to understand how you are taking my rights away as a patient to be able to decide my own care, to give me an emergency C-section against my will.
Give her an emergency C-section against her will. She's still in the hospital. He said the state of Florida filed this. The woman already, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, this ain't the time and a place for that, but she got to be on a Zoom call with all these people, including this judge, pertaining to what should go on with her body and her child. You go back, man.
Filed a petition for My name is Michael Khalil. I'm a circuit court judge here in Jacksonville, Florida. The state of Florida has filed a petition for declaratory.
The state of Florida, we got to process this. The state of Florida filed a petition against this one woman, saying that she should have a cesarean section.
Judgment. They're asking for an emergency C-section be granted by the court.
I have not had a chance to be able to consult with my own legal representation, and I'm trying to understand how you are taking my rights away as a patient to be able to decide my own care, to give me an emergency C-section against my will.
Well, let me ask you about that. What about the risk to the child?
Anytime you go into childbirth, whether you do a vaginal or a C-section, there's inherent risk to the mother and the baby.
Either way, all praise to the Most High that the sister educated enough to know that. Either way it go, it's going to be a risk of life. But they coming like they're more concerned about the child than the mother herself. Now, I'm not saying that it's not, unfit parents out here. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying in the common nature of caring parents, mothers and fathers or whatnot, families, like, man, all of this is unnecessary. It's really evil.
I have other children out here in the world that need me. If I die from a C-section, nobody on this call is going to take care of my children.
Well, you have a new doctor coming on. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they don't have anybody African-American that they can give me.
Well, let me ask you. I don't know that. Then I don't find that race really has much to do with this, ma'am.
It does have much to do with it, because historically, Black people do better when they have healthcare providers that look like them. It's nobody Black in here. I'm so tired of this. I'm over this whole situation. Like, y'all are gonna make me have level 3 tracing. How bad y'all stressing me out,
Ms. Doyle.
Now, she said something. She didn't feel comfortable with these foreign faces. He said, I don't think it matters. We gonna get to that. I got something else for y'all to see why it does matter. That mindset It's selective how it's used in society against our people. Definitely, mainly. Let me go back. Can we trust the healthcare system?
No, that then I don't find that race really has much to do with this, man.
It does have much to do with it because historically, Black people do better when they have healthcare providers that look like them. It's nobody Black in here. I'm so tired of this. I'm over this whole situation. Like, y'all are gonna make me have level 3 tracing. How bad y'all stressing me out.
Adding stress to the matter already. Body already under stress for trying to produce a whole nother life. Then you got to go through this. You increasing the stress, and as stress compounds, stress kills. This also is a tactic that's used so that you can keep coming to the hospital. We want to keep you sick. We want to keep you depressed, oppressed. We want to keep you feeling bad so that we can write you one of these prescriptions. Keep in mind, a doctor, surgeon, or physician, the average amount of money they get to perform a cesarean section is from $1,000 to $4,000. From $1,000 to $4,000. Now, to cut on somebody. Then the question is, okay, well, hold on, I'll let the video play.
Ms. Dorley, that's what's going to be entered. I'm going to circulate this order, this proposed order, to the other attorneys. Enter this in today, not requiring anything except for an emergency basis.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you spending 2 hours on a Sunday going through my medical history and fighting for my vagina and my baby.
All right.
Let me see. It say Doyle had 3 prior C-sections, including one that resulted in hemorrhage. After 3 hours of testimony, all while Doyle lay in her hospital bed, the judge ruled that she could keep trying for a vaginal birth unless there was an emergency. Let's see. Overnight, doctors said the baby's heart rate dropped for 7 minutes. Doyle woke up to her hospital bed being wheeled into surgery. The baby was delivered by C-section. They cut on her. But here's the thing for me. In time past, before the technology existed where they can pick up on a child's heart rate, ultrasound, so on and so forth, how was the decisions made whether or not this woman should have a C-section, you know what I'm saying, or not in those time periods? So you really don't know if some of these doctors is just saying, well, yeah, the baby heart dropped or the umbilical cord is around the baby's neck, just so that they can perform this other surgery that's going to put more money in their pockets. Let me finish out the video. The next day, they said she woke up with, being wheeled into surgery. The next day at 8 a.m., nurses again put Doyle in front of a tablet for a final hearing.
This is re-traumatizing. Tell them I don't want to be on.
It's re-traumatizing.
Y'all can have your own meeting. I want to see my child.
All right. Now that's just one story. That's just in Florida. That's just with that particular woman. All right, so making mention of how things change according to the ethnic races that's handling this birth. It does make a difference. So much so, check this out. This is why. Recently, let's go here. Let's go here. Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. It's like my computer trying to lag a little bit. It look like. You go here. I dropped the 7. If everything's still coming through clearly for me, drop a 7 in the comment. Let me know the audio and the visual still coming through before I go ahead. Before I continue, somebody drop this 7 in the comment for me. Let's see. Okay, cool. 2 witnesses. All praise to the Most High. All right, check this out, family. Now, this recent. This not me being some kind of person who trying to create an issue. I'm finna show y'all the facts of what's going on. Let me see. Here we go, right here. Share my screen. Let's go back to the screen, y'all. Put this. This means okay. I like that one. All right.
Almost exactly 2 years ago, I was invited on the Kelly Clarkson show to talk about racism in medicine. At the time, I was still a medical student during the COVID pandemic, so I started posting videos online about race in medicine whenever I learned something in class that didn't.
Fair use. Fair use for educational purposes. This man on the screen is a doctor. Check him out. Check him out.
Quite sit well with me. One,
Go back.
medicine. At the time, I was still a medical student. Almost exactly 2 years ago, I was invited on the Kelly Clarkson show to talk about racism in medicine. At the time, I was still a medical student during the COVID pandemic, so I started posting videos online about race in medicine whenever I learned something in class that didn't quite sit well with me. One of those things was an equation called the GFR equation. GFR stands for glomerular filtration rate. It's essentially a function of how well your kidneys work. If your GFR is high, that means your kidneys are doing well. If your GFR is low, that means they're not doing so good. That number can often determine if you see a kidney specialist, if you get diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, and if you get a kidney transplant. But for decades, there were actually 2 versions of that equation, one for Black patients and one for everyone else. The reasoning was that Black patients were assumed to have higher muscle mass, and that would affect a lab value called creatinine. So a race-based multiplier was added. That meant even if everything else was equal, if one patient was Black and one patient was non-Black, the Black patient would automatically be assumed to have better kidney functioning, just because
the Black, patient will automatically be assumed to have better kidney function. So people might say, well, what's the big problem with that? Well, if I'm actually dying and you assume, well, you okay, you can walk it off, it's all right. You're not going to prioritize my health. You might feel like this next person need it more than I do. But it's solely being based on the fact that I'm Black. So going to lam it back off what the sister was saying, it does matter about the races. It shouldn't matter. If the Holy Spirit is working through everybody like the Father intended, if we had true love for our neighbor, but that's not the world that we live in. A lot of people, they specifically want to go into the healthcare field so that they can deal with lives. A psycho that want to kill. They say, well, the best place that I can get away with murder, just prescribing them just the wrong type of medication for whatever they're dealing with. Medical malpractice, people losing their lives, going under the knife, trusting what the doctor's saying, and the doctor giving them a prescription, they end up taking life from them. All right, but the brother said, look, man, it was 2 equations, the GFR equation. Let me go back, man, for some of y'all who just came in here late.
Race-based multiplier was added. That meant even if everything else was equal, if one patient was Black and one patient was non-Black, the Black patient would automatically be assumed to have better kidney functioning just because of their race. And that had real consequences because it could delay care, delay referrals, and even cause patients to not get kidney transplants. So I'm sitting there explaining this to the Kelly Clarkson, and I'm already nervous. But then something incredible happens. They brought on someone whose life had been directly impacted by a video I made talking about the GFR equation years ago. Because of a video I made, a family was able to look up the GFR equation, take it to their doctor was able to look into it, realize it was true, and that patient got moved up 5 years on the kidney transplant list. Anise was who they brought on stage.
The truth of the matter, recognizing that, man, it's two equations working here. It's not equality. But about the Most High moving this man, said it didn't sit right. Let me study, let me look into this. Come to find out it is an issue, and the issue is causing our people to be pushed to the back of the line. So you need a kidney transplant. You want an organ transplant. But they saying, well, you already have more muscle mass, so you actually can endure the pain that you're dealing with another 5 years. Let somebody else who need it, who is more paramount for someone else who need it, let them go before you. And what if you die in that time period? People losing their lives and family members got to bury these folks because the equations say that, well, you can last longer than this person who's a non-Black. These ain't my words, man. These the facts of what's going on. All praise to the Most High for bringing it out how he have.
And she was actually the sister of the person who received the kidney transplant. But the reason why she was there and not her sister was because her sister had just received a kidney. It was one of those moments that made absolutely everything feel real. And there's a letter that Anise and her sister wrote that I actually still keep with me and is on my wall. Thankfully now, the GFR equation no longer includes race as of 2021. And in 2023, the Organ Procurement and Transplantation Network said that anyone that's had the race-based equation used can retrospectively have their kidney wait times adjusted. The study that came out in March 2026 is showing that over 21,000 Black Americans had their wait times adjusted because of this change. These are the types of stories that I'll always continue to share. If this is your first time here,
all praises to the Most High. Said because of that, let me come back here. 21,000 people got their wait times adjusted. So that's talking about kidney transplants, though. This was the equation, the assumption that they had when you walk in there feeling good, not understanding the environment that you in, you just trusting these people with your life based off the fact that you don't know. You don't know what the glomerulus is. You don't know how that system really works. You trusting them to take care of you. Not knowing, you're going to be put on the back burner. You and your family going to be put way at the bottom of the waiting list just because you got melanin. That's for kidney transplant. So in how many other scenarios and situations are we viewed like that? Are they saying, well, you Black, so you really good. We don't really have to give you this, that, and the third, or you don't need this, that, and the third. Bro, it's a wicked world, bro. It's a real wicked world, bro. Let's keep going, though. Check this out. So what happened? Do you know who the father of modern gynecology is? Let's go here. I'm on the history website. It says the father of modern gynecology performed shocking experiments on enslaved women. What did it say? His use of black bodies as medical test subjects falls into a history that includes the Tuskegee syphilis experiment and Henrietta Lacks. Now, this woman right here, Henrietta Lacks, you got to go look that up. You got to go look her up. The Tuskegee experiment, syphilis experiment, what they did. Go look it up. But this fella here, let's get some information. He's regarded as the father of medical gynecology. What did it say? 3 medical doctors have been as lauded and loathed or hated as James Marion Sims. Credited as the father of modern gynecology, Sims developed pioneering tools and surgical techniques related to women's reproductive health. In 1876, he was named president of the American Medical Association. And in 1880, he became president of the American Gynecological Society, an organization he helped found. So he helped create the organization. The 19th century physician has been lionized with a half dozen statues around the country. They held this guy as somebody to be revered with respect. Dozens, well, half a dozen, 6 statues. It says, but because Sims's research was conducted on enslaved black women without anesthesia. So they didn't have no type of, something to kind of help with the pain. Didn't put them to sleep, no matter how severe, how intense, the surgery or whatever procedure he's performing on this woman. She would not receive anything to put her to sleep. She's going to be fully awake, feeling everything. That's what it's telling us. It says medical ethicists. So those who are supposed to have ethics in regards to our health. Historians and others say his use of enslaved bodies as medical test subjects falls into a long, ethically bereft history that includes the Tuskegee syphilis experiment and Henrietta Lacks. Here we come. It says critics say Sims cared more about the experiments than in providing therapeutic treatment. He didn't care about making you feel better. You're a test subject. Why? It says in that he caused untold suffering by operating under the racist notion, here we go, that black people did not feel pain. He said, we don't feel pain, so we don't have to put them to sleep. I can cut on them, cut the stomach open. I can cut all in their face if I want to. I might dig out one of their eyes. Let me dig that eyeball out their head. Let me cut the brain open. He said he used some tool to open the skull of young girls who about between 16 and 18. Matter of fact, a 13-year-old. And he doing all this with the mindset that, hey, they don't feel this. They don't feel pain. But these is, again, he said he's the father. So sisters, when you get checked out with the gynecologists and they use the little duck lip thing, hey, this guy here is where that originated from. On the basis saying that, hey, black people did not feel pain. All right, so and something else that go on. I'm going to scroll down here. Here you go. There go your boy. There he is. But something else that happened. Something else that happened. We go into these hospitals, and guess what? The psychological tactic that's used, you come in with this white coat on. The white coat's supposed to symbolize purity. Because if somebody came in the room with a black hood or a long black robe, he would, hold on, man, what's going on? Who is this coming in the room? You're gonna be alarmed. But when they come in with this white coat and they got the little, the pad, got glasses on some of them, they got the necktie on some of them, the white coat kind of disarm you and neutralize you to feel like, hold on, this is somebody who has my best interest at heart. This is a friend. But you got people who literally, like I said, they train their children to go through these colleges and get this type of information to learn these skills just to be in the field to experiment on you, experiment on your children. What else happened? Because they got the PhD, because they have the title doctor, the title equals credibility. So you think because they went to school, oh, they gotta know what they talking about. I gotta be able to trust what they're telling me. Man, to so many, man, you ain't nothing but another paycheck. I don't care about you. Let me read a part of this though. Experiment on enslaved children. Says writer and medical ethicist Harriet Washington says Sims's racist beliefs affected more than his gynecological experiments. Before and after his gynecological experiments, he also tested surgical treatments on enslaved Black children in an effort to treat trismus nascentium, neonatal tetanus, with little to no success. Sims also believed that African Americans were less intelligent than white people and thought it was because their skulls grew too quickly around their brain. So he already got a synopsis about our people. Oh, they slow. So if you're coming into the hospital, my establishment, I already think you slow. I already think you don't feel pain. There's not going to be no real connection of compassion, natural affection for you. Remember what we just looked at the video? Hey, y'all got more muscle mass. Let me keep you on the bottom level of the list for whoever need a kidney transplant. Says he will operate on African-American children using a shoemaker's tool to pry their bones apart and loosen their skulls. In the 1850s, Sims moved to New York and opened the first ever women's hospital, where he continued testing controversial medical treatments on his patients. When any of Sims's patients died, check this out, the blame, according to him, lay squarely with the sloth and ignorance of their mothers and the Black midwives who attended them. He did not believe anything was wrong with these methods. So this guy didn't feel no kind of way about losing life, killing people on the operating table, women dying under his hand. It didn't matter to him. And guess what? That spirit is still in the earth in a lot of these hospitals, in a lot of these clinics, in a lot of the people when you call the ambulance, the ambulance worker, the paramedic don't care about you. They more concerned with the fact that you had to call the ambulance and it's a fee for that. You say, can we trust the healthcare system? The same country, listen to this, the same country that had commercials rolling, they had billboards out on the, in the roadway saying that cigarettes cause cancer. The same country that'll put that out there, where you go in certain stores, they gotta have it plastered. Tobacco can cause cancer. You gotta be a certain age to purchase a cigarette or tobacco. They still will sell it to you though, knowing that it causes cancer. Why, if you know that it causes this disease, why would you sell it? Why you won't outlaw that? Why wouldn't they outlaw that? You won't even get a ticket for it. This is crazy, man. But we trust in these people, these establishments. We say, man, y'all gonna have my best interest as I bring in this new life, this beautiful little girl, this handsome little boy. Not knowing you dealing with somebody that hates you. A lot of the sisters say, I seen a post earlier. Women say, people say, men say, if you don't like my children, you can't like me. If you don't like me, you can't like my children. So if the care practitioner hates your kind, hate you, hate your class, can they then care for your child properly? Well, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Show you something else. Check out this guy. Check out this fella right here, man. Hold on, let me give him a, okay, yeah. Let's go back to it. Where I'm at. Check out this fella, Peter Nygaard. Peter Nygaard. Listen to what he say.
Stem cell technology that Peter and I are investing in is called SCNT, which takes the egg of a young, perfect.
Fair use. Fair use for educational purposes. Stem cells, if you don't know what a stem cell is a cell that can become just about any other cell in your body. Whether you need neurons, dendrites, synapses, axons, or nerve, tissue for your muscles and your organs. This is what a stem cell can become. It's basically like if we had an empty canvas, we can paint on it whatever we want. So the Most High is his infinite wisdom. He say, well, I'm going to have certain cells that can become just about anything that the body would need. So he's talking about stem cells. Listen to what he's saying, though.
Woman specimen takes the egg and takes out the nucleus and puts our DNA in the nucleus. They just go in and take it out.
It's painful, right?
Huh?
Is it painful to use this?
Yeah, and this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet. These curvy.
I didn't say that. That fella just said that. He said, man, we don't see this in no other race. We don't see this in nowhere else. He said, let me let him finish what he say with his perverted, maniacal, sick self.
In any other race on the planet, these curvy, sexy black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection. And
so you got a monopoly on this genetic perfection. Y'all got a monopoly on this, meaning that y'all, when something is monopolized, that means I'm the only one with this source material or that can provide this. I'm a singular establishment. You can't find this nowhere else. So y'all got a monopoly on genetic perfection. This is why they want the stem cells. He say we can take that and through science remove the coding and the information that's inside the nucleus and replace it with our own DNA. This is what you get CRISPR babies. This is what you got what people saying, hey, we're going to create the type of child that we want. That's a whole nother subject, man. Check this out, though. Keep listening to him. Let me go back just a little bit. Look at the table. Look at who's at the table. Billionaire Peter Nygaard offers money to black women for DNA stem cells. Check this out.
they just go in and take it out.
It's painful, right?
Huh?
Is it painful to use this?
Yeah, and this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet. These curvy, sexy black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection, and we want some of that.
Right.
So, girls, for $100, we will pay you for your egg.
$100?
$100 for your eggs. We want some of that. Like vampires. You say $100 for your eggs. Check this out.
So how much do you want for it? Let's bid. I bid $500 for the Olympic. Whoever I bid, he's gonna outbid me.
Now this Peter Nygaard right here.
$2,000 for the eggs. Yeah. If you have abortion, that's very valuable. Umbilical cord, placenta, even your period blood is so rich with stem cells. When you regard it as waste, then it actually should be. It should be captured as recycled, and it should go to waste. It's life for somebody else.
Yo, cycle blood, which the Most High said this is unclean. He said, man, your cycle blood, the stem cell, the umbilical cord, the aborted child. He said, man, that's life for somebody else. It need to be recycled. We can use that. How are you gonna use, sir? How are you gonna use a aborted child? How are you gonna make use of that? What you gonna do with it? Him or her, rather. What you gonna do with this child that's been aborted, the body of it?
And it's life for mankind. The best eggs are 16 to 18 years old. Those are the best eggs.
Between 16 and 18 years old, it's the best time. So if you don't understand, this is a part of why you see these young girls coming up missing. This is one of the reasons. This is a part of that trafficking scheme. Between 16 and 18 years old coming up missing. They want some of that, like what dude said. Stem cells and all that.
As you get older, your eggs get weaker and weaker.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So you may not be our candidate.
No, that's fine. I think that was my business anyway.
Cloning yourself with the idea of making yourself immortal, I think, is science fiction.
And that's what he was doing. When you look further to his story and what he was on, dude was trying to become immortal. Doing so through what he was talking about, drinking blood. I guess we'll talk about that another time, Father say the same. All right, but can we trust the hospital? Can we trust the healthcare system with everything we didn't cover so far? Can we trust the healthcare system, man? It's different. You know what I mean? Some people don't want to admit it and they want to play like it's equal. It's not. Man, it's the Most High said the truth gonna spring up from the earth and all this information keep coming out. Hated by the world, man. The healthcare system, like I'm saying, people having minor issues and they go into these hospitals and they never come out, man. Or if they do leave, they leave in worse shape than they was before they came in. So this is a reason why we should be teaching our children and if our loved ones will go into these healthcare fields. That's why we need more brown faces and melanated people in there. But not just melanated people, because you got sellouts as well, who they value the money more than life. But those who truly care. And then when we come across people who actually have a genuine love for life like that, man, we should salute them and encourage them. You know what I mean? But outside of that, if we can get back to having the children the way we used to, they got women laying on their backs, man, going against gravity. This is why some of these sisters losing their lives on the table, losing their lives in the room, because they not squatting. And then you tell the doctor, well, I don't want my child taking no, vaccines. Like what we seen in the first video. She didn't want to have a C-section. The state of Florida petitioned the courts so that this woman would have an emergency C-section. Like they got more concern for her child than she do. So for us to encourage like the doulas in the nation, you know what I mean, man? All praise to the Most High, man, for those souls being midwives. May the Most High increase y'all skill set in hand. We should have more babies naturally, more children naturally, without all of this influence of what mankind and wickedness then created and came with, man. A lot of the children that have autism, they've already linked it, man. This not me just talking. I'm not claiming to be some doctor or whatever. I'm telling you what the information is that's out there. They said a lot of the autism is linked to the vaccines. Mercury being in the vaccines. Some families had children that they deemed to be normal. But after they took the vaccine, the child then, went into a state of being autistic. Some even passed away, man. But these families of all races, nations, going in trusting that the doctor gonna take care of them. Trust what the CDC is saying. Matter of fact, by the way, the CDC got on the website that fentanyl is approved and put into epidural shot. The Center for Disease Control. So the game in the format, again, like for y'all who might not have heard it, we're going to give these women these epidural shots that got fentanyl in it, but this is a setup to if they deny vaccination or how we want to proceed with them having our children. Notice I said them having our children. Because it's saying that once we sign these birth certificates and all of that, ours being signed by our parents prior, we wards of the state, or meaning the state owns us. We're not smart enough or intelligent enough to make decisions for ourselves. So our children that we have belong to the state, and we don't even know this by us signing our names on these contracts. But because you saying, I don't want the vaccine for my child, I don't want a C-section, you stand a chance for your children being taken from you. You got the dentist out. You done had some in other cases. Now this one, I don't like to go to sleep. You know what I mean? Well, the time that I got my wisdom tooth removed, I didn't want to go to sleep. I don't know what you doing while I'm asleep, man. And you done had it come out that a lot of these sickos, they real sick now. They can't wait to put you on an anesthesia. Mocking people, mocking you and doing other things to you while you unconscious. Can we trust the healthcare system? Can we trust them? Don't forget the eugenics program. Don't forget about that. Don't forget about Margaret Sanger. Don't forget about that. Don't forget about Willie Lynch. He says, hey, we want to keep the body strong, but take the mind. In other words, don't let them have enough sense to think for themselves, but only enough sense to we can use the body. Now we're going into another form in these days of time that We talk about it like it's new and it's not. Organ harvesting, black market, this type of stuff, man. People got it on their IDs and licenses to be an organ donor. Some of these folks end up in, crashes and fatal wrecks. Some of them fatal car wrecks not something that just happened by chance. Folks been watching you, man. They're like, we gonna get him, we gonna get her. And they send one of their agents out to purposely run into you just to get you in a hospital and then end up taking your organs. Matter of fact, not too long ago, it was a story that came out. This dude was in a hospital, and this was a white guy. Dude say he ended up being taken downstairs in the hospital. He seen them folk chopping bodies up and everything. This type of information ain't put out though. They ain't gonna put that in the news like that. Let's go to Job, man. Let's get some word in here. Job 13. You gotta understand, man, that the time that we living in. The times that we living in, man. Do these people really value life like that? Well, you can just go into the hospital and trust that they got your best interest at heart. Taking a gamble with it. They prescribing stuff that suppresses the issue and it'll keep you coming back. Look at the history of how long who been in effect or who has been established. The World Health Organization, Cancer Society. And you look at the record to see how many people they actually cured since they've been in business over decades. And I ain't even cured nobody, man. You got all these billions of dollars being flooded into these companies and they not even helping the people. But if we paying attention again, if I'm gonna sell you a cigarette that I know causes cancer, why would I be selling it at all if I actually cared for your health? Job chapter 13, bro. Job chapter 13, Job was sick. Job was dealing with some health issues. And his friends came, and instead of them having compassion on him, they was condemning the man. So much so, he said this right here. I'm going to start with one. It says, lo, man, I have seen all this, man. Ear have heard and understood it. Well, ye know, the same do I know also. I am not inferior unto you. Surely I will speak to the Almighty, and I desire to reason with the Most High. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. And so you got doctors lying, physicians lying, surgeons lying, nurses lying, because a lot of them can't separate their profession from their personal feelings about the patient. So they write stuff on the charts. They prescribing things that might not even help. They giving you antibiotics and you don't even need that. And they giving you a dosage that actually harms you more than they help you. The Most High blessed me with enough favor that when I had needed some antibiotics, the man tell me, "Hey, man, these gonna be hard on your body." I didn't know that. I didn't know antibiotics is hard on your liver. Because these pills and stuff that they creating in labs, man, it really was never meant to be in our bodies. So you physicians are no value, man. Physicians are no value. Let's go to Exodus, though. Let's go to Exodus. What else is going on? If it's a system, it's been set up and it got intention embedded in it. Exodus chapter 2. We're not chapter 1. This is when our forefathers, this is at the point where Joseph then went in Egypt. He done passed off all the patriarchs of the 12 tribes. It's a new generation coming up. Exodus 1 verse 6 says, and Joseph died and all his brethren and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. So we everywhere. Verse 8 says, now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. It's more these brown folks, and they stronger than us. But look, this coming from the mouth of a Hamite. They got melanin, but they not the same as us, though. Verse 10 says, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when they're followed out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. So you got to know that we being studied. We looked at Peter Nygaard. How do he know and his friend that the brown women got this monopoly on genetic perfection? They had to been studying us. They had to been trial and error with Asian women. They had to look at the genetics of the Caucasian women. They had to look at the genetics of the Arabian women and these other races for them to be willing to pay $60,000 for your egg and bid on it. That type of stuff. So it said these ones, and it's the same spirit that operate now. You go into hospitals, it's a lot of East Indian people who coming in with the white coat on, who came in with the PhDs, is Arabs. She got the red little ruby, the red little dot right there in her forehead. You can barely understand what she's saying, but she know what to give you, though. She know exactly what to prescribe you. Verse 11 says, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. So within this, the healthcare system is not enough because we multiply. Remember what I said about the eugenics. You got to go study it. Well, they were talking about a superior race and getting rid of who was deemed to be inferior, rather they was impoverished or in poverty. And they got us at the bottom of the barrel being oppressed. It's saying, and keep the desirables. So the intent with that was, well, we know that these black people multiplying at a rapid rate. And who was doing it? The Caucasians. They said, well, they multiplying at a rapid rate. We need to figure out a way to slow down or stop their morale of reproducing all at the same time while we increase our reproduction and maintain the resources in society. This is what the eugenics program was about. The last law that pertained to sterilization, which is to prevent you from being able to have children. And the Most High said, be fruitful and multiply. The last law was taken off the books in 2014, man. This recent. But what I was going with it is the healthcare system is just one branch, man. They seeing us multiplying and they saying, well, we got to kill them early as possible. What better way than in the hospital in the situation of birth? Before they even born, let's get them. Let's give them these prenatal pills instead of encouraging the women and promoting the fact, and you need to be eating fruits, vegetables. Instead, let's have them focus on these pills. Verse 12, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Check this out. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah and the name of the other Pur. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, to you brown melanated women, it said, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, a male, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Now, what gender was sitting at the table with Peter Nygaard? None but females. Nothing but the women. We want y'all women because we want to inject our DNA into y'all's eggs so that we can reproduce. These males carry the seed, man. The women is the garden and the man is the gardener. And they saying, well, hold on, as long as we got the garden, we can plant what fruit we want. We want our fruit in the garden, not this other one. So kill the males. So it play in another position. Well, let's get the man out of the household. Let's have them going against their men, not listening to their men. Let's have them trust the doctor more than they trust their own husbands. That man is a problem. We need to get them out the way, that male. But we want to keep these women. This how he coming, man. Verse 17, but the midwives feared the Most High and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men and children alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have you done this thing? And why have saved the men and children alive? And the midwife said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women, check this out, sisters. Y'all need to highlight this one. He said, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women. Y'all got a genetic perfection, a monopoly on it. These brown, these melanated children of Israel, these daughters of Zion, they ain't like no other woman. They different, even from other melanated types. No, they better than Ethiopian women. It's something different about them. This is what the Father had his author to write, man. And before we even jumped into the scripture, you heard it come from Peter Nygaard and his partner. It says, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Therefore, the Most High dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared the Most High, that he made them houses, and Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. So now they kill these males, man, before they even have a chance to grow. Like I'm saying, you got to understand that this society is not shaped and fashioned and built to help us like that. Here go the example. A lion, right? Before that full-grown male lion even got mane around his head, and he just a little small, little cuddly, little fat, little wrinkly little baby, little cub. Somebody would say, the hunter would say, hold on. Yeah, he nice and cuddly right now, but as time progresses, man, he gonna be a monster. I need to get rid of him now. I can actually master him right now in that state, but if he keep growing, he might take my life. So let me get rid of him while he's still in his infancy. It's the same attitude, the same spirit that's working in the world right now, man. So sisters gotta understand, like, man, it's more, it's a decision, a heavy decision of where you choosing to give birth at, where you choosing and who you choosing to be allowing interacting with you while you carrying life in your womb. It's important for us to understand who we trust in our health too. And then something else that's not promoted. They're gonna promote their pills. They're gonna promote, hey, get your Zaxosermadol, whatever they want to call it. This is gonna give you relief. But what they're not telling you, that a lot of the sicknesses anyway come from sin. So now the people looking for a pill instead of looking for repentance. So we running into the hospitals instead of running to the Most High. Now it's a time where, yes, indeed, because the Father created the physician too. Let's go to Sirach or Ecclesiasticus. It's a time where, yeah, they on point. And like I said, I'm not saying that every physician, surgeon, or doctor and nurse or anybody in the healthcare field is evil or wicked, but I am saying everybody ain't got the spirit of compassion for their neighbor that's working in their field, man. You just another check for them. You another $1,000, another $4,000 for a cesarean section. They get paid to write them prescriptions, if you don't know that. If they can perform a surgery, there's even more money, you know what I mean, that's going to hit their accounts if they can get you to agree to a surgery. Ecclesiasticus, out there book right there, Apocrypha. Sirach, chapter 38, verse 1 says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which he may have of him. This is an honest person. You know what I mean? The Hippocratic oath that they take. If he actually in alignment with the Most High enough, and even if he ain't a believer, just having enough concern for life of people. And he actually striving, she or he, want to make sure you don't have to come back and see them. Yeah, honor that person. It says, for the Most High have created him. Verse 2, for the Most High cometh, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. The Most High have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. The person that's wise won't hate these herbs. A lot of these societies, they well aware of the power of what herbs do, but they won't tell the people that. So it's a thing for us to go out and search and be vigilant about our own health. Verse 5 says, was not the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue therefore might be known? He have given men skill that he might be honored in his marvelous works. With such do he heal men and take away their pains. Of such do the apothecary make a confection, and of his works there is no end. So because there's always somebody that got something going on, some kind of ailment. They overdoing it, want to make you a bill. They saying, well, you got the best health care insurance anyway, I'm going to charge it to the company. Now you in there for unnecessary reasons and matters. It says, and from him is peace over all the earth. But if they doing a job, it brings honor to the Most High. And the word to get out, man, you know, Dr. Saber, he really put in that work, man. He didn't have to spread the word. The work spoke for itself. But that's not the concern for a lot of these hospitals. The gods of the people that's ruling in society, if you don't know this, if you didn't learn this from the Epstein files, their God requires blood. It requires life, man. So you will be just another sacrifice to their God. They don't care. They feel like the exchange of your life is going to give them more power, more riches, more status in society. You ain't nothing to them. It's spiritual, man. And spill over into the physical. Said, my son, in thy sickness, be not negligent, but pray unto the Most High, and he will make thee whole. Leave out from sin, and order thy hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. Give a sweet savor and a memorial for fine flour, and make a fat offering as not being. So now you're going into the psychological. A lot of people dying and rushing into these hospitals because their minds, they believe they sick because the doctor said this. They just completely accepted it. When go look at the statistics on deaths from medical malpractice. So many of these doctors be wrong. And enough people don't even have enough education or wherewithal, Father, open our understanding to say, well, let me go get a second opinion before I just take this man's word or this woman's word. But in the psychological, the mentality of the people is that I believe I'm sick. Oh, I'm so sick. Oh. Now you breaking your body down right there, believing and thinking like that. The Most High saying that if you sick, man, you got to be operating as if you're not even sick, man. Stay encouraged, be confident. I'm healed already. Don't just lay there. Just lay there and just let your life just drain, go down a drain. Don't try to fight. Don't fight it mentally. You accept it. You accept the contract and the curse they put on you. Yeah, you sick. You sick. I don't even like for people to tell me that. I rebuke it when they say it. And it's been a while since I actually been sick. All praise to the Most High. By the changing and watching of what I'm eating. I will say, give a sweet savor and a memorial fine flour, and make a fat offering as not being, as if you were not even sick. 12 says, then give place to the physician. For the Most High have created him. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him. There is a time when in their hands there is good success. All right, for they shall also pray unto the Most High, that he would prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. But what's happening in society? Man, these doctors count science as their God. They ain't finna pray. They're not saying, Father, help me to every patient that come in the office today, give me what was necessary for them, oh Holy One. Help me to cut off their diseases and be a healer for them. They saying, let me get some more. I need more patients. I need more sick people. This ain't enough sick people because my check ain't fat enough. Verse 15 says, he that sinneth, check this out, before his maker, let him fall into the hand of the physician. So we don't equate or see no connection between sickness and sin because it's not being promoted. They say, hey, you don't talk about religion in the workplace. It's company policy. So if you can't even talk about the Most High, that encourages those who don't even care for the Most High. Now you got an atheist where he don't care. It's going to take the Most High to actually move that person's spirit how he want them to be. You're going to have favor from heaven. Let me go to Revelation though, man. What if you have a bone dislocated? If you don't know how to, relocate your bone, the word just told us, man, go to the hospital for the need that you have of them. But what I'm saying is too many people just run to the hospital based off the first little sign that they think they sick or got a problem. Don't even try to fight it. And I'm saying you're running into the hands of people In different cases, not every case, they don't care about your health. It's a lot of witches and warlocks who purposely went to collegial institutes just to be among the people, to be trying to cast a spell and a curse over you when you come in a doctor. They can't wait to take a blood sample. You think they done took it to the lab or something. He done, on the way to the lab, he done pulled a little bit of your blood out in the cup and put it in his pocket. Brought an extra syringe and drew some of your blood out of the little tube he put it in. Took that home with him. He took that home with her. You don't even know it. Can we trust the healthcare system, man? The same system that, like what was mentioned earlier, the Tuskegee experiment. These folks came to Alabama under the guise that, hey, man, we finna give y'all this medicine, and in exchange, we'll give y'all free healthcare. But the people not knowing, half of their population of people that they used in the experiment, those men didn't even know they had injected them with syphilis, man. Watched them for 40 years, not 40 seconds, 40 minutes, weeks, days, months. 40 years they watched these men, observed them. And those men went home and laid with their wives, had children. The children came out affected by the syphilis. So they infected their wives with the syphilis. But all of this was at the hands and at the behest of your healthcare system. Give me a second. Hold up. Let's go to Revelation 12. I'm actually there. Revelation 12, man. Can we trust the healthcare system? Drop it in the chat, man. What y'all think? Like, I'm asking. Can we trust the healthcare system? By no means am I telling anybody, hey, don't go to the doctor. Again, the scripture just let us know, man, it's a time because the Father created them. Not every doctor, physician, and surgeon is evil. If it's actually an emergency, yeah, okay, go ahead. Send them prayers up first, though. Make sure you go to the Most High first. Because I don't want nobody saying, well, Paisley said don't go to the doctor and I lost a loved one based off that information. I ain't telling y'all that. I'm telling you, understand where you're going if you go to the hospital, the possibilities. Revelation 12, verse 1 says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Go on here because, man, Satan waiting. Satan like this. Satan like Birdman. He rubbing his hands together. He can't wait till you come to the hospital. He can't wait till you finna give birth to this child. Before it passes the matrix to enter into this realm, he or she, your son or daughter, he already got traps and devices set up. And one of those is these hospitals. did a message. It was titled "The Government Sickness," and in that message, shows some information where these colleges, these research institutes, a lot of them work with the government, the military, and they do operations and experiments. They experimented on people. But the research was done, it was a collaboration with the colleges. You know what I'm saying that to say these colleges play a hand in the sickness of the people too. Again, they're not giving you the book saying, hey, man, go take some mullein. Hey, you need some echinacea. How about you take you some of that myrrh or that frankincense? What about golden seal? They ain't going into all that. What about the burdock root? They ain't going into all that. But the Most High put everything in the earth that we need, man. All right. See if I got anything else. So, with everything said, man, just to encourage us, yeah, let's as much as we can, let's encourage these doulas, these midwives, the home births, those who actually have the skill to do so. Not just anybody who's saying, hey, I'm a doula, I know what I'm doing. Like, no, we need to make sure you skilled and certified. You know what I'm saying? And aside from that, those who do go to the colleges, to go to school, to become doctors and nurses and everything else, that we get the right people that's going into these establishments, man. Because the healthcare system don't really have a true care and concern about the Most High's people, man. You got RFK Jr. bringing out a lot of information. You know what I'm saying, of what's going on in society dealing with healthcare. That way, if you don't believe it from me, you can go believe it from him. You say, I ain't know about it. I agree with you. But hey, RFK, he bumping shoulders with Trump and the president. He all up in there. He got access to information I don't got. Yeah, man. So understanding that before we go into these establishments, man, taking a gamble. First video I showed today, family, the sister in Florida ended up having a court hearing right there in the hospital. Right in the hospital, because the state of Florida filed the petition with the courts for her to have a cesarean section. The other video, the brother looks at the GFR equation and find out that they got two equations working. One for non-blacks and one for blacks. And the one for blacks said that we have larger muscle mass. Therefore, we really not priority on the list of if we need kidney transplants, dealing with the glomerulus. So they put a lot of brown people at the bottom of the list who actually needed those surgeries. But because the equation said y'all got more superior organs, we can put y'all on the back burner and put somebody who is more pressing for them ahead of y'all. But by the brother examining it, say 21,000 people got moved up the list, man. We talked about Marion Sims, dude who say he's the father of gynecology, but he said black people, black women don't feel pain. So he had operations that could be equivalent to even say that they were being tortured. And he had no regard for it because in his mind, being racist, he said, they don't feel pain anyway. I can do whatever. I can experiment how I want to. But he's the father of gynecology, and he's he's recognized so much they put up 6 statues around the country to revere that man. This the same healthcare system that we're dealing with today, that he had an impact on. Talked about what Peter Nygaard and them said. Said these sisters, these African Americans, he didn't say Arabs. He didn't say nobody from Zimbabwe. He said, man, these black women, man, y'all got a genetic perfection monopoly. You what he said? Taking the stem cells. Said there's so much stem cells in your period blood. This is what he said. So they already have a motive or intention in a view of you. Before you come, they can't wait to see you sometime. Those type. You just somebody for them to experiment on. Yeah, and they gonna uphold the policy of the hospital and the doctor more than your rights, your human rights. Yeah, so how do we avoid this? How we combat that? Man, we need to be more educated. Let's encourage those who want to be doulas, midwives, want to have these natural home births. Let's help them. And those who don't want to go their route, they want to go into the healthcare field through the society, the country, or whatever. And let's encourage them to be aware of these things too, to be a different ambassador for healthcare for people. Yep. Question, comments, and concern, man, before I close out here. Questions, comments, and concerns. See what y'all over here hollering about. Peace and blessings to everybody over IG, over Facebook, over YouTube right now. And everybody that'll tune in at a later time, man. Shabbat shalom, man. Shabbat shalom to y'all. Questions, comments, and concern before we close out. They have you sign forms not to sue them when they wrong you. Yep. Yes, they do. So it's important for us to understand what we put our names on. Anything you sign is a contract. Anything you put your name on. So when you sign, follow it up with this. I'm going to put it in the chat. UCC 1-308 without prejudice. Without prejudice. Put this behind your signature. Anytime you put your name on something. With that uniform commercial code, I spelled without wrong. My fault, family. Let me make that right. UCC 1-308 without prejudice. Yeah. So what that tell the system, because a lot of the people who handling their paperwork, they don't even know what that means. Because we not when we go through the school system, we're not educated on uniform commercial codes anyway. But those who do know, when they see that, they understand that means, well, this individual is saying anything in this contract agreement or our exchange and interaction, they not bound or obligated to perform and be compelled to do nothing within this agreement that they didn't understand fully, that they wasn't aware of. So they can't be held accountable for something that they didn't have a full understanding of. Whereas if you just sign it, they take it as, oh, well, you understand everything in here. Therefore, if you violate this contract, then we can handle you however we want to. But if you didn't understand it, then guess what? Then they can't really hold you accountable like that. Let me see what y'all saying down here. Yes, indeed. See what else y'all saying up here though before we close out. All praise to the Most High. Yep. For sis over coming up out that coma too. Excuse me. Yeah, the white coats, like I said earlier, for y'all who didn't hear it, man, that's a tactic. I'm gonna come in with this white coat, and by being icy white like this, you kind of already psychologically, oh, this person is pure. You say how? Well, if I came in with a all black hood or all red hood, draped down a robe, you gonna like, man, who is this? Satan coming in? You gonna be alerted. This somebody in a cult trying to come in, you gonna be alerted like some of the omen. All right, but it disarm you when you come in with that white coat. Like, okay, this is somebody good. The white represent purity. They know what they talking about. But that's just the costume. Then nowadays they coming in with the coat with the mask on their face. You can't see this person's face. You don't even know who you talking to. You just hear a voice. Like, man, can you pull your mask down so I can identify you? And they want to just go in cutting on your children or put you out the room to ask your children something. A lot of people are already just coming there under the dominion of the doctor. Well, whatever they say, well, the doctor say, can you leave? You gonna leave. No, man. Trying to make sure I don't miss none out any comments, man. Trying to go back up. If you come in over Facebook, I'm not gonna see the comment till I go off the live. And yeah, I'm glad I seen that. Sis mentioned the Ronald McDonald House. So you do got places that care for real. And so the story that I can say with my daughter, when she had her last surgery, right when she turned 1 year old, the doctor said, this was a different doctor or just a favor that the Most High give people. She said, man, it was a miracle. Doctors don't like the word miracle is associated with miracle associated with the Most High, associated with God. In the field that she's in, science was praised. So for her to say that was credence to the Most High. This was at Arkansas Children's Place. So it is places around the world where they for real about what they doing, man. May those places be blessed. You know what I'm saying? But keep in mind the balance. Just be aware as we go into these institutes, man. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And check up on the people. If your loved ones, if they do go to these facilities. Because one thing about it, what the Most High tell us, as we check on our loved ones, man, just showing up and visiting, man, that encourage and increase lifespan. It's like, man, somebody care about me. This give me a reason to keep fighting. But those who've been admitted into hospitals, they sit in this cold room and they got the shades drawn. It ain't no life in here. So, loved ones coming in there with real plants. Like, man, bring some life in here. Open these blinds up. They got you sitting in gloomy, dark, cold room and you just feel discouraged and defeated. But when your loved one come through, they bring their life in there. It's like, man, that made me feel good. And they give you a little more to keep going, man. Yeah, appreciate the Most High. Anything you think you appreciate about me is never me, it's always him. All right, I ain't seeing nothing else. Let me check IG right quick. All praise to the Most High. So they can't wait for more music. All praise to the Most High. All right, family, that's it. We'll play this. Close out here. May the Most High be with you, be with us. Thank the Father we had another chance to get it in. Preferably we got edified and it resonated in our spirit to carry with us and not just momentarily, bro. Not just soon we leave and we forget about this stuff. Keep it in your mind, man.
Look. Salute the righteous and I mute the wicked. How you Christian rockin' Buddha printed true religion. Felt the change and I knew the difference. Moved the pivot, went from selling trees to selling soap and fruits with eucalyptus. Root of David, fruit of true repentance. When it's dead weight, who can lift it? A broken spirit, who can really fix it? They went half to make the baby, then went half just to kill it. They say crabs in a bucket, I say crabs in a skillet that's on fire, homie. Keep that fire, homie, like a peacock, all these eyes on me. She may die lonely, grudge drove her crazy. Your hate for that man should never be stronger than the love for your baby. It's like I got the art of feel. I can tell when it's not as real. If it prevails, it was opposite. We'll complain about a simple life, homie, doing a life sentence. Psalm 34:7, I've been hard to kill. Home do the kundalini, home do the chakras. Talking everything kosher, home do the lobster. And Nebuchadnezzar's furnace is where the rebels meet. Foolish, strong delusion, do the hubris, can't accept defeat. They did you wrong, ain't telling you forget. Moved on, 2-inch memory foam, now I get better sleep. Sometimes you gotta let them go. They'll never know and they'll only see if you let it be. It's just a trick, it ain't legit without the father stamp. Survivor kid, the Bible lit like a lava lamp. You trust the one you listed as your power of attorney. Take the good with the bad, it's all healthy. Gain wealth through the wisdom, that's the power of the journey. Things roll a 4-time rim for our learning. They see freedom, I see Sodom and Gomorrah while it's burning. Cast down, Babylon is falling. And it's epic, tell the paramedics, never mind the gurney. Truth make the devil choke like smoke in the esophagus. They drop bones out the sarcophagus. We take the hatred as a compliment, honestly. Far as prophecy, we living it out. Epstein files, agents swerving in excursions. Bombed out, ran the highest, stirring up the purgeons. Major businesses doing mass layoffs to keep them going bankrupt, a couple of them merging. Record clean, cops still make them nervous. World War, this the third one. Praying hard they don't draft our children for the service.
All right, family. Now y'all have a blessed. The rest of y'all Shabbat, the rest of y'all day, may it be blessed. May the Most High keep us. And keep in mind, while I'm at it, because some feel like, I should do more messages or more music. Man, my top concern is not to do or bring a message or any music. My top concern is that if a message or music is made or presented that is inspired by the Most High and delivered in His time. So the time, the frequency of it varies, man. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing that I'm trying to not do the work. Anybody can teach. I'm trying to make sure that it's from the Most High. That's the thing. Yeah. So with that, I love y'all though, man. May the Most High be with us. Shalom, shalom, Shabbat, shalom.